What up? It's Jimmy from odds.com. This is a clip from our big NCAA football opening lines show. If you want to watch the entire show, hit the link on the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively on odds.com. Move on to 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Number 2, Notre Dame. 8-0, 7-0 in the ACC. At number 25, North Carolina. 6-2, 6-2 in the ACC. Notre Dame opening up as 4-point favorites at Bet365, and we see it all over the map right now. We see 3.5s, 4s, 4.5s, and 5s on the board right now. This total opened up at 65.5. We know money's going to come in on Notre Dame throughout the week. Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 67 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, beautiful day, 3 miles per hour is the wind. Both teams come in fresh off their bye week. Notre Dame was last seen a 45-31 win at Boston College, and this was an actual bye week. This wasn't one created by COVID. Both teams were expected to have this week off. Last week off. Ian Book having himself a season. Throwing for 1,818 yards, 11 touchdowns, 1 interception, while running for 364 yards, 6 touchdowns. Those numbers look very good until you take a look at Sam Howell. Man, the sophomore is rolling. Last week he threw for 550 yards and 6 touchdowns against Wake Forest. Let's stay with Notre Dame, though. Stout defense, allowing just 16.6 points per game, 304.1 yards per game, but they're going to be in for a challenge with North Carolina's offense. NC's offense, 43.1 points per game, and they put up 563.4 yards a contest. For North Carolina, that 59-53 win was their second straight game going 50+, fourth straight game going 40+. Let's let Connor Mack get us started here. A little ACC battle, Notre Dame, North Carolina.
Yeah, I think the points will be scored. North Carolina can't stop anybody. I haven't liked Notre Dame in these roles like this when they're favored on the road, especially throughout the years. They're the better team. The number's low this year. I just don't love it for some reason. The total's real high. I think it gets there as well. I don't love this spot. Notre Dame should win by a touchdown, but it's just not one of my favorite looks here. So I'm passing.
I was so excited to see what the number was going to be, CMac, because this is a monstrous game for North Carolina.
Yes.
And I feel like their offense can keep it close.
Me too. So.
And where do you think this ends up, CMac? We know there's an Irish tax. I mean, does this end up? Can we get Notre Dame +6?
I think so. Yeah. I think it moves up a little bit. And Notre Dame, I think they're for real, but I think their defense is pretty good. If Clemson scored on them, I think North Carolina. But North Carolina, these last 4 weeks, especially the 3 weeks, they haven't stopped anybody. And if they can't stop Wake Forest and them, Notre Dame should score 40-50, So I just see it being a shootout unless something changes, which their defense is just nowhere to be found. But I think this could get up. You're right, Jay. I think this could get up to 6.
And, I mean, it's a good point by the real Jolly Roger. He says North Carolina was +5 last night, now +4. When does the Notre Dame money come in? So I think that's an example. It's pretty easy to say, and with no proof behind it. But I think there's an example of Sharps coming in right away on the Tar Heels, and the public's going to come in hard on the Irish.
Late.
Let's go over to Nolly knows Notre Dame, North Carolina.
Yeah, ugly game. North Carolina can't stop anybody, man. It's bad, I was just keeping track of the game, Wake Forest, because I wasn't watching that crap. But I was keeping track, and every time I look, somebody's first and goal. Quick. I will say, Sam Howell's got that offense really clicking over there. They can compete with, I guess, anybody if they can keep up. But defense is what's going to win you ball games. And being that Notre Dame's defense is much better. I mean, I would lean towards Notre Dame, but still, they've given up a lot of points. They gave up 31 to Boston College last week, or the week prior, maybe a potential hangover game from the Clemson game, but they also gave up a lot of points to Florida State, gave up 26 to Florida State, which is quite unexpected. They're not going to be able to stop North Carolina. Nobody has been able to. Can they slow them down enough? That I think they can to be able to win the game, but I won't be involved in this game.
Yeah, I felt like North Carolina was looking ahead to this huge matchup in that sloppy Wake Forest game. John Ryan, ACC battle, Irish Tar Heels.
Yeah, this is a tough game to handicap for sure. I agree with the line movement here. I think at 4.5, you'll probably see better volume on North Carolina. The Notre Dame falls into a system that is not good for them. It's actually great for the Tar Heels, and I'm going to pull that up right now. You're going to bet against favorites of 3 to 9 points after scoring 20 or more points in the first half of 2 consecutive games, and playing against an opponent after scoring 24 or more points in the first half of their last game. So that reflects the offenses that you guys were talking about earlier in this matchup. Another one that supports Carolina is you play against road teams that are outscoring their opponents by 7 or more points per game, which Notre Dame is, after a game allowing 31 or more points in 2 straight games. So, this is a tough call. I'm on the fence right now. I wish I had something for the chat room, but right now I am lost on this game on who the best bet is.
I'm going to wait, and then I plan. If I can get 6+ on North Carolina, I'm going to move on them. That will be my